Hi, Danny Marrow here. I want to talk to you about Harran, Harran, city of the moon god. At the northernmost end of the Sumerian Empire, the city of Harran likewise had the moon deity as patron god, under the name of Sin, S-I-N. From about 2000 BC to 1200 AD, Harran continued an evolving tradition of moon god worship. Harran is the place of Abraham's family and ancestors and the center of many of the early events of Genesis, including the naming of Israel as described by Ezekiel in 27:23. Harran, along with Sheba and other cities, were traders in blue clothes and broidered work in chests of rich apparel. Bound with cords and made of cedar, the status of Sin was so great that from 19 BC to 900 BC his name is witness to the forging of international treaties as the guarantor of the word of kings. The temple was restored by Shalmaneser of Assyria in the 9th century BC, and again by Ashurbanipal about 550 BC. Nabonidus, the last king of Babylon, who originated from Harran, rebuilt the temple of the moon god, directed by a dream. His mother was high priestess at Harran and his daughter at Ironically, his devotion to the moon god caused a rift between him and the people and contributed to his defeat by the Persians. The worship of the moon god at Harran evolved with the centuries. It included Hul, the temple of rejoicing, and a set of temples of distinctive shape and color dedicated to each of the 7 planets as emissaries of the cosmic deity. Many of the descriptions of Harran through Christian and Muslim eyes include exaggerated tales of sacrifice, which are probably not factual. It was said by one writer that they sacrifice a different character or type of human to each planet. Garland Black Bull was, however, sacrificed in public ceremony, as the bull was at and Muslim sources refer to seasonal weeping for Taus at Harran and up to the 10th century among Bedouin in the desert. His symbol was the crescent moon. Given the amount of artifacts concerning the worship of this moon god, it is clear that this was the dominant religion in Sumeria. The cult of the moon god was the most popular religion throughout ancient Mesopotamia. The Assyrians, Babylonians, and Akkadians took the word Suin and transformed it into the word Sin as their favorite name for this deity. Austin Potts, the hymns and prayers to the moon god. Sin, PhD, 1971, Dropsy College, page 2. Sin is a name essentially Sumerian in origin, which had been borrowed by the Semites. Austin Potts, the hymns and prayers to the moon god. Sin, PhD, 1971, Dropsy College, page 4. Assyrians had established 20 independent trade colonies throughout Anatolia known as Karum. It can be said that the Assyrians had developed the most sophisticated trading system at the time. In the Ugaritic Texas, the moon god was sometimes called Kusum. Of the Chaldeans was so devoted to the moon god that it was sometimes called Nanar in tablets from that time period. A temple of the moon god was excavated in by Sir Leonard Woolley. He dug up many examples of moon worship that are now displayed in the British Museum. Harran was likewise noted for its devotion to the moon god, is shown in the statues of the moon god. Note the presence of the crescent moon on the Babylonian moon god. Ladies and gentlemen, again I repeat what I said before. I have nothing against any Muslim person. I am opposed to the false teaching of Islam and the false lies of the Prophet Muhammad and the unholy book, the Quran. You are looking at a gross worldwide deception, and this is all that we are trying to show you. You make your own decisions. Again, I have repeated before, I'll repeat it now. I am opposed to the Christians that are claiming to raise the dead in the name of Jesus Christ with no evidence. This is historical evidence. I am not the author of these series. These are scholars and archaeologists that have written this information, and I am just quoting them. Thank you very much.